Hey everybody, this is your man P Stock. You know what time it is. This is iHipHopTV, and this is the Freedom Reigns edition. It's on, y'all. You know, iHipHopTV has been bringing you this great content with Dr. E and Jarrett St Amand, and we're going to expand on it. The plan, the 36-month plan to eradicate homelessness in America, starting with veterans first. Here we go. We have the guys, Dr. E and Jarrett St Amand.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Thank you, P Stock, iHipHopTV, for what you guys are offering to us right now for a platform. We really appreciate that.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, P Stock. Thank you, Sultan, and also thank you, Bobby Owens, for making this happen for us.
Bobby Owens, you guys rock. The Sultan is like awesome, right?
Yeah, Sultan.
You guys are really something of a blessing to give us an opportunity to show what God's given us the grace for today. And today we brought a couple guests on. We have a special guest, Tammy, Bledsoe, that we're going to bring on first. And I can't name the other guests. We're just going to surprise you guys because it's going to blow your mind that we have such an honor to have such beautiful grace of people around us that are showing us the way with God leading it. And I want to thank P Stock and iHipHopTV for what you guys have offered to us to give the platform to start eradicating homelessness right now and 36 months, veterans first. And we want to start out with a special guest of ours right now with Tammy Bledsoe, right?
Tammy.
So Tammy, we're going to put you on right now. This is Tammy Bledsoe with Tom's Palms. Tell us about yourself, Tammy.
Hi, it's Tammy Broslow. And let's see, I started Tom's Palms. Tom was my dad. Tom was a Teamster truck driver. He used to go around as he's driving and stop to eat. And of course, you always see people with signs everywhere we go. In LA is where I grew up, Los Angeles, California. He would invite people with their sign in to eat with them. And he'd break out his New Testament out of his back pocket he always carried and witness to them, pray for them, and send them on their way. He was not a man who wore many jackets and had so many jackets in his truck all the time. He'd often give somebody a jacket if they needed it. Now in this community, I ended up in Arizona years later, and this community taught me about something called CBD. It's a cannabinoid that actually started healing me, and I've never heard of it before. And my buddy Jefro there taught me more about it than anybody else. And now it's something that has healed me, and I'm no longer in a wheelchair. Since I've been out of a wheelchair for the past 6 years now, this community, this cannabis community in Arizona has backed everything that we do as Tom's Palms. And now we are feeding so many people. It's really great. Last year we fed over 6,000 people. 6,000 meals we handed out, along with clothes, toiletries, resources. We have a huge list. I'm sorry I don't have one in front of me, but we have a huge list of resources. We're getting ready for an 800 number to be passed out. You know, veterans are very dear and near to us. Veterans, we give them a straight number to a gentleman that will help them out. And yesterday, one of our other friends who's a veteran gave us a contact to be able to call them, and they will go pick anybody up off the street that's a veteran and take them and get them help right then and there, and they will no longer be in the streets. Where the Veterans Affairs, it takes them 3 months at least to put their paperwork through to get them off the streets. And that's a shame that our government takes that long to get a veteran off the streets. So I'm excited to hear what you all are up to here. You know, my way is I run a corporation and I don't have a payroll. And we gave out for Thanksgiving over 600 Thanksgiving meals, along with 900 pieces of pumpkin pie, so many blankets and jackets. I just couldn't even keep track of how many we gave out. So this community is pretty awesome in sharing with all. And we found a way to get into these people that have the funds that are able to help us. And we're growing so fast, I'm having a hard time keeping track. But we need the funds because people keep telling me, you can't do this with no money. I've been doing it with no money for so long now. I'm telling you, it can be done.
Woo!
So if I can do it, anybody can do it. And shame on our government for not doing more. That's what I have to say.
Well, Tammy, I want to talk to you about something. We really appreciate your story about this and what you've gone through and all the pains. I mean, your car's been down so many times. We've always been trying to talk to you and kind of push you forward to say, look, you gotta get some of your money for your business and your expenses to help you stay forward. So we know the struggles. Let's talk about the first time you started with this with Eric and everybody. What was your first the very first time you went out there and said, I'm going to start this Tom's Palms? How many bottles did you have? How many clothes did you have and stuff? Was it, and then now where are you at today? Let's talk about that just real quick.
Okay. Well, Eric had a music studio downtown. So he said, I've got a couple of empty rooms. Why don't you take one of them? We had talked about how my dad used to help people, and his grandma also helped many people. She used to feed people all the time, and started her own nonprofit, which always had the peace. So we always have like a peace sign. You always see me using it. It's not just me and something that I use, but it's near and dear to my heart because of Eric. So I always keep that in there. So we just thought, we were having parties. Little Flip would come. We'd do a party down at the Monarch, and then we'd do an after party and do a smoke and paint sesh, and we'd have a bar downstairs. It wasn't totally legal, but people were loving it coming in. We were having a great time, and we're like, we just need to do something to give back to others. Like, we're doing this thing, but like, what is our purpose? Like, what are we really doing with all of this? So we just put it out there, like, why don't we just go and feed some people a meal? And we thought, well, spaghetti's easy, cheap, anybody can make it. 7 people brought spaghetti dinners. And you all know, making spaghetti, you can make quite a bit in a big bunch. We had a whole bunch of spaghetti. One of those gentlemen at one of the businesses is Italian and brought like every kind of food you could meat you could think of in this spaghetti meal. And we had out spaghetti, salad, and cookies. Now, there were many people showed up. I had no clue who they were, including Anthony, who is a barber and cuts hair. He showed up with all his stuff and a chair and just started cutting people's hair. Now he goes out with us and cuts people's hair. We've had people come out that do teeth whitening, do makeup, put wigs on people. We've had them come out and do massages on them and use Jefro's cream, giving them massages one time for, I think that was like Father's Day or Mother's Day that we were out there in the streets that day. Yeah. So, it just, the people love that stuff. They love the one-on-one touch. I can't tell you how many of them I hug out there because that's our people. That's our citizens. Like, a lot of times they're your parents, your children, your grandparents out there, your aunts and uncles. Like, there's somebody out there, they can't be forgotten.
Let's talk about that, Tammy. What have been some of the obstacles you've ran into right now when you're out, there, with these, trying to help the homeless? What do you feel your obstacles are, and what do you feel that you could do with help to overcome those?
Well, let me tell you, Thanksgiving. We feed Thanksgiving. We call it our Thanksgiving back. We do that Saturday before Thanksgiving. We do that before then because this year, Thanksgiving, they put up blockades. They put blockades up all over what we call the zone here. It's much like LA, where you have, everybody down there in LA and Skid Row. It's the same thing. It's called the zone here. So they put blockades everywhere and told everybody, if you come down here giving out food or anything at all, we'll ticket you and we can even arrest you. Now, I was told that the very first time that we came down, but I also know from our attorneys, and I have a great mentor who's an ex-attorney from here who wrote a lot of these laws in Arizona, who helps me know what to do to get around those laws to be legal. So it's just really sad that you come across the police that don't want you to be there to help the people, and they want to arrest them. They want to clean up their property. They want to do everything but help them. There's nothing they do to help them. I remember in my day, you used to be able to stop a police officer and they would help you no matter what they had to do. They would help you because you were the citizen that was paying their bill or paying their job for them to be able to help you. They don't help any citizens anymore. Like, I'd really like to know what they're getting paid to do, because I don't really think they're keeping track of their citizens. And now in the state of Arizona, they got a funding here from the government of $800,000 to help the homeless here. Do you know what they did with it? They are buying more police and security for the parks and for the businesses down in the zone, so that they can keep the homeless out and keep them in control and keep them out of the parks. Where else do they want them to go? There's so many businesses locked up downtown with fences around them and nobody in them and using them. I've been trying to find out an owner to one of those businesses. I would love to open that business up and say, hey, write it off in your taxes. I'll give you my tax number. Every year you can write it off in your taxes. We'll fix that building up. I could say open when we have stuff and hand it out the window to the people right there in the zone where they need the help.
Yeah, I know.
It's just really sad that there's so many that need the help, but they're not getting it. And our government has the money. They're not using it right. And I can't get my hands on any of that money. The state, I went to them for help over the summer. They had pallets and pallets of goods in a warehouse. It took me 6 weeks to go there when they finally said, come do a pickup. Dispo, John is on our board, sent one of his trucks there with the guy, a big truck. They gave me one pallet. That pallet wasn't full. It was maybe a half a pallet. I could have taken 8 of those pallets easily full. And when I left there with a bunch of stuff still sitting there in that thing. Now, mind you, all that time, that stuff didn't go anywhere. The city finally took a handful of their workers, and it's on the internet on their space. And if you notice, it's people in their dresses, their high heels, their suits out there, and they're wearing the products they're handing out. They're wearing the safari hats. They're wearing the water jugs with the things you drink out of them and they mist you. They're wearing them on their backs and drinking out of them and misting themselves while they're handing this stuff out. You just don't see the personal touch in it, and it was all show. And they still had some of that stuff in their warehouse. I don't know that they ever got rid of it all. And that stuff was supplied by our government to give out to their program here, to the state, to help because of the heat we have here. I don't know. There's a huge issue. I don't know how to fix it.
Tammy, the Calvary's on the way. We have a formula that's going to be able to fix that. We have a formula that you're going to really, really enjoy. It's going to give you goosebumps. It's also going to tear you up, because in the Bible it says, give them a fish, they'll eat for the day. Teach them how to fish, they're going to eat forever. So that's what we're doing, Tammy. We're going to be going from church to church, nonprofit to nonprofit, incarceration, halfway house to incarceration, halfway house. And we're going to be teaching these people how to fish. See, at the end of the day, this is what I know as a businessman. The government's a business. And the government wants to keep a revolving door to this business so they can keep making money. There's an appropriation
Keep you sick, keep the insurance paying.
Right.
High insurance pays the best, keep them sick.
The more people that are homeless, the more appropriation goes to that state, that city, things of this nature. So that's all they're doing is they're creating their business. They're playing a game of chess, and they want customers. Homeless people are customers because one, they have Social Security number that's being traded on the NASDAQ, as we know, but we won't go into that. But two, it's all about that appropriation. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the $700 billion worth of Amazon returns, which is almost $1 trillion. Almost $1 trillion. We're going to get a 95% discount on that. And we're going to turn around and we're going to go to the people that are healthy, the people that are computer literate, and we're going to teach them how to take that product and sell it on eBay and get you all the money you need, hun. All the money you need, so that you don't have to worry about the bureaucratic red tape, so that you don't have to worry about doing fundraisers and things of that nature, and waiting for the government and their grants. We're going to bring that to your doorstep, and we're going to make sure that your 501c3 nonprofit organization and the people that you care for the most are very well taken care of.
And that's only level one. So there's phases to it that we do, Tammy, and to our special guest we have not talked about yet, and P-Stock. So, we also have cell phone companies we're starting up, coffee companies, water companies, different things coming about that we haven't talked about yet because we're going slow. We don't want to overload. But this is all so beautiful because independence creates what? Freedom. And freedom enables you to have food on the table where you can actually feed your family for once. And I'm watching these rates go down and what we're doing with our society. Approval ratings are going down for our president. Everything's looking like shambles. We're having a lot of issues right now. If you can find independence and not work for that 9-to-5 corporation, you just saved yourself because you pulled yourself out of that. You started supporting yourself and your own family. I haven't worked for anybody since 2006 when I figured out the math. And then I started working with Berkshire Hathaway with electrical. So you never know where you're going to go when you just put your heart and mind and soul into it. And our path right now, 36 months, we are going to eradicate the homeless, veterans first. And that's our mission. And by having Tammy on board right now to show us what one of the pathways is, helping nonprofits just like you, Tammy, showing you what you can do with some of the items you get in that we could put onto our platform and help get rid of for you, which we've already started to do, by the way. We just got brand new boots in from a veteran that was given them from the shelter. And our buddy We Perfect is going to donate them to us. We're going to put them on our account. They're like $300 and some boots. And we're going to donate that money directly to the nonprofit for Tammy.
Exactly.
That's exactly where the money's going to go. So every time we find a shelter that we can help out, and I'm a nonprofit board member of Tammy's. So I'm one of the board members, and We Perfect's a board member. So here we are with, all these beautiful board members that are trying to come back and help our own foundations back by having my buddy Daryl here, Dr. E, and the crypto profit, showing you guys what it's going, and having this iHipHopTV platform right now, which is just unbelievable, showing you guys that where the will is, the way is. And we have to do this right now. And it's time to start helping out the homeless. It's time to start going to those boxes, Tom's Paul's boxes around all the different parts we have at Chiba Huts and all that stuff. So this is what we have is we need support from our communities right now to jump on board with us. What we're offering is packages right now for $250, $500, $1,000, and $5,000. That gets you an eBay account, eBay training, and inventory. Unique inventory from the $800 billion overstock that Amazon has right now. That's our token. We're getting a big discount to help you get yourself independent. So I would think right now, if it's all right, Tammy, I really want to say thank you tonight for coming on and talking about your heart and soul that you brought to our community with everybody, and having the ability to shine your light upon all with God's grace. It's been such an amazing opportunity to be with you and have you as part of my life, as my friend, also to be a part of the board of directors with Tom's Palms, and also help guiding our lights together within our hardships and stuff, and using each other's crutches because we need each other. And I love you very much. I want to tell you that You spark my heart. And you always have. You know that. So thank you.
Love you,
Thank
love
you
you.
very much, Tammy.
On this note, Peace Doc, Tammy, and Dr. E, why don't you give us a great introduction to who's our special guest today right now? Can you do that for us?
The most amazing man on this planet, the man that has the biggest heart, that loves people,
Woo!
that loves to make sure that these people are always taken care of, that these people have a roof over their head, food in their belly, gas in their car.
Veteran,
Marine veteran at that. Yep. We love you very much, Unc. We love you. We want to thank you very much for being a part of our mission. When people hear about not one homeless person will be on the streets in the next 36 months,
they'll be safe and sound.
They're going to be safe and sound.
And because of what we have for opportunity right now,
yep.
Let's introduce him right now, please.
Everyone, it's an honor. It's a pleasure to introduce Unc. Mr. Unc himself, the legend, is here with us. And we want to thank you very much for joining our show, sir.
Norman
Tillman.
The honor and a pleasure. Absolutely. God bless all. Blessings, honor, and respect. Hey, Tammy. God bless you in a mighty way, lady.
Oh, thank you. He has blessed me.
Well, we want to introduce you because you're the Freedom Brothers Foundation, and we would like you to tell us about the journey that you're on and what you've been doing to eradicate your issues that you see fit. So tell us about yourself. Let's go.
Okay, well, just a little history. The Freeway Boyz Foundation, and as you know, that's a reference to the infamousness that is the Freeway organization. A bunch of guys back in the 80s, the most recognizable of whom is Freeway Rick Ross. We did a lot of screwing up. We sold a lot of poison to our people, and we messed up a lot of communities across the country. But we were conditioned to be, desperate for money, that all money was good money. And a lot of people have that attitude. So fast forward, Rick and I, while he was incarcerated, he had a life sentence, a federal life sentence, and we were talking about how to give back for so much that we had taken away. And I told him to start a nonprofit organization. We'll call it the Freeway Boyz Foundation for health and wellness, community economic development, and social change. And part of my background after 92, when my little brother, who was 11 Deuce Hoover Crip out in California, he got killed. And I became a drug treatment referral counselor. And the way I came about getting that position was I met one of my sheroes, a lady named Dr. Carol Adams. She's a PhD sociologist. At the time, she was the director of resident programs for the Chicago Housing Authority for all of the projects in Chicago. And I met her up at Jim Brown, the arguably the best football player that ever played football. He had has a program called the Eradicating program, where they teach, at-risk youth and ex-felons and even convicts life management skills like decision-making, problem-solving, goal-setting, things that we take for granted, and we don't recognize or understand that some people don't have that skill set. So I work with him as an executive facilitator and went all over the country teaching, talking to gangbangers and discussing with them how they could improve their life by changing their attitude. Because everything that we do is, has to do with motivation, of which there are three, and the most prominent is fear. Everything that any human being can succeed if they can just get over the fear. The reason that you do things, the reason you run away from a crazy dog is fear. The reason that you quit before you accomplish a goal that you set is fear. So that's the strongest motivation why people do what they do. The second most strongest is incentive motivation. People look to, if you scratch my back, then I'll scratch your back. So they're looking for quid pro quo. But the most important motivation is attitude change. When you can put a mirror in front of someone and let them know that the only person that they're competing in the world against is themselves, and that they can accomplish anything. And when you tell them that they're a miracle because they're a human being, and you raise their self-esteem, and you get them to believe that they have the ability to be independent human beings and take care of themselves, you change their life, and you change the human experience for all human beings. Because like Martin Luther King said, hunger anywhere is hunger everywhere. Homelessness anywhere is homelessness everywhere. We all suffer when any of us suffer. And anyone who isn't trying to improve the life experience of other human beings is living a selfish life. So, I chose to change my life and think in a selfless way. And that's part of the reason why the Freeway Boyz, Rick and I, and all of our friends were so successful at distributing narcotics, is because we had a philosophy that if there were us and one of us had $10, that meant that all of us had $1 a piece. So yeah, it ain't no fun if the homies ain't having some. You feel me? So anywho, before I get long-winded, what we're looking to do with the Freeway Boyz Foundation is to partner with existing organizations. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I want to support Tammy in what she's doing. I want to support you guys in what you're doing. I just want to lend my infamy, not my fame, my infamous, past, because for whatever reason, people tend to gravitate to thugs and gangsters and all that kind of nonsense. But if I can get them to listen to me long enough to get them to listen to you, I know that the information that you're going to share with them is going to change their life. It's like giving medicine to your kid, So, and I know this is medicine that they need, even though they're going to run away from it. But then as soon as they get cured, then they're going to be thanking you. Oh, thank you for making me take that medicine. But it's the same thing. No one wants to, I go downtown on 6th and San Pedro. If you're familiar with the LA area, that's like Skid Row. It just breaks my heart to see people sleeping on concrete under cardboard boxes. This shit is just inhumane. It's just insane. And I get to go home to a warm, cozy house. And, my hunger is no less or more important than any of you guys, nor any of those homeless people. So I applaud you all, first of all, for all of your efforts to try and eradicate the inhumane environment that the world has become. And I support you all. And in any way that I can aid and assist you in what you're doing, I'm all in. Cut me in or cut it out. It's just like that is.
Yeah, Unc, how do you feel about the veteran population and what we have gone through being veterans here together? How we have been through impactful relations with other countries where, we can't talk about some things, we can talk about the others, but the PTS that we get and we receive from it, and being that you're 63, you're an old son of a biscuit that we love very much. What is the impact right now from the military to the homelessness that you feel right now, and how we can try to help that with your structure with the Freeway Brothers Foundation?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've gained a lot more insight into the way, countries operate. And as one of you gentlemen had mentioned earlier on, the United States of America is a corporation. It's the United States of America Incorporated. And the military, for whatever it's worth, is the thing that protects the United States of America from other countries who would seek to do us harm. So, I take my hat off to all veterans, because what you did was you volunteered to serve this country and create a safe place for American citizens to be able to exist, to coexist, to strive to become successful at a a career or some kind of vocation or whatever, skill set they develop, whether they want to be cosmetologists or, mechanics or whatever it is, veterans are the reason that other countries don't come and attack us because they know they got hell to pay. So, veterans should be the first line. They should never have to ever beg the United States government for anything that they suggest that they need. They should get it. They should be number one priority, but that's not the case. And, I learned that because I'm a Marine, there's no such thing as because I'm a Marine, just because I went to boot camp, I can apply for post-traumatic stress disorder from that hazing that took place in boot camp. And then
not to mention the shots, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bullshit.
I mean, there are so many issues that, we need to deal with. But instead of I've always been a person who sets goals and I accomplish a goal, then I set another goal and I accomplish that goal without take on the whole world all at once. So my primary goal and focus right now is to eradicate homelessness for veterans. And once we've done that successfully, then we can focus more on the broader population of American citizens who are currently unhoused. And then we can deal with the hunger situation because there are a lot of people right now who don't have what they're going to eat this evening. And then after that, we can look at how to create a situation that allows for people not to have to walk around without clothes on. Food, shelter, and clothing are the most important things that human beings need. And then when you get into all that other stuff, foreign cars and jewelry and all that, that's subjective. If that's what you need to make you feel good about yourself, God bless you in a mighty way.
Well,
I said that again. I applaud you guys. I applaud you, Tammy, and anyone else organization that's trying to eradicate those things I just talked about. I'm all in, man. Holla at you. Holla at
Go ahead. This Dr. E. This is the most important question that I feel everyone needs to hear. Based on your ingredients, your blueprint, your formula, based on the people that are on this call, on the show tonight, and the skill sets that they're bringing to the table. This is very important. Do you think that we can eradicate the entire homeless epidemic nationwide, veterans first, in the next 36 months? Is it
absolutely, positively, unequivocally, without doubt, no question about it? I wasn't too vague, was I?
No, not a bit. Not a bit.
I think
on point.
So yeah, absolutely, it can be done. And and the most important ingredient, as Tammy said earlier today, in that whole equation is love.
Love.
And that love has to start with self-love. You have to love yourself enough to understand that if you see someone else suffering, your love for the fact that you're blessed and fortunate enough not to have to be going through those kinds of trials and tribulations requires, it is your responsibility to do everything you can to help eradicate that for them other folks. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I use an example that, my dad told me. He said, if you see a baby fixing to run out in the street and get hit by a car, what do? You say, well, it's not my child. That's irrelevant. It's a child. So it is your child. We're all children of one another. Civilization and humanity, we all family. We all bleed red.
Amen.
Ourselves, we all bleed red. So all that black, white, green, purple, red, and all that other nonsense, it's nonsense. So at the end of the day, he said, you save that child. Now, if you choose to kind of discipline that parent for not, training that child to understand not to run out in front of cars, then that's your personal prerogative, even though that's not that's not in your sphere to do that. What you could, however, do is pray for people, to pray for understanding, to pray for clarity, to pray for for them to be humble, and for them to have humility, and to care about everybody, beginning with themselves. So yeah, absolutely. I think that not only can the homeless be eradicated, I think the hunger can be eradicated, and I think the clothing thing is a no-brainer. So yeah, all of that can be fixed. It can all be fixed. It's just that the greedy people that keep their foot on the throat, it requires for greedy, want to be powerful, want to have dominion over other human beings. It requires that you keep a population of human beings downtrodden and desperate for assistance, and don't ever tell them that they can not only learn how to fish, but feed themselves for the rest of their life. You want to keep them dependent. I want to raise people to understand it is your responsibility to create a value in yourself where you can live an independent life.
The next thing that I feel that we can accomplish after we eradicate the entire homeless epidemic nationwide, veterans first, in the next 36 months, I want to go after the incarceration problem. I want to go after the incarceration epidemic.
Prison industrial system.
Right. So one of my visions is, again, education, bringing education to the individuals that are in prison, that are wrongfully incarcerated or incarcerated for petty theft or petty things, and get a ton of money to that particular sector with the best lawyers that money can buy. And one by one, we're going to tackle it, and we're going to get these people out of the cages, because again, the incarceration system, it's a corporation.
Yeah.
And they have monopolized it, because they understand back in the day in 1865, the Emancipation Proclamation, when they realized that that their fields weren't getting taken care of, that there were no slaves anymore, they had to figure out another plan. They had to figure out another recipe to incarcerate these people. And that was the penniage came in. And they knew that even a $25 fine for an African-American person, it's going to yield them
loitering. Yeah.
Right?
Arrest people down south for loitering. USS Steel was the biggest one that did that.
So they had to figure out how to again get more free labor. That's all it is slavery part 2, slavery 2.0. But what they don't understand is people like us are sick and tired of being sick and tired, period. And what we're going to be doing is bringing a ton of money, millions and millions and millions of dollars, and pay for the best attorneys to take care of these people. And once they're out the system, they're going to be our clients. Once they're out the system, we're going to rehabilitate them. We're going to catch them up to the 4th industrial revolution by educating them, giving them the right skill sets,
tools,
exactly, to stay out of the hands of those enemies, those people that are trying to keep them as their customer. So we have a plan, and I know, which is very important, is when we accomplish the eradication of the homeless epidemic in 36 months, there's going to be people all around the world that are going to be coming to us and saying, hey, can you fix this for us? And can you fix that to us? Because we can't rely on the government anymore. And we're going to make a stand. We're drawing the line in the sand. It's all
action,
about we the
action.
people.
It's all about action, though. And it's just like Unky say, you know, you always talk about the action. It's like people always want to talk about what they want to do, and they're just not doing. And, you know, the Marine Corps taught me right away is it saved my life. I mean, so many times to just, if you're going to speak it, do it. And actions speak louder than words. So we're asking everybody right now on behalf of our beautiful guests we have today with Tammy, with Tom's Palms, and we got Mr. Norman Tillman, and we got P-Stock here with opportunities to help us out through iHipHopTV, offering a great opportunity to show people right now really what we're here for. Why are we here right now? The message is quite clear. We obviously have an epidemic right now with homelessness. We're trying to eradicate it. We need funding, and the funding we're trying to do is not just to give us the money. We want to teach you a tool to give you the opportunity to be independent so we can utilize that teaching skills we got from 1996 in eBay, right? With $1.5 million his first year, 10.5 million items sold from then to now. Guys, we have the best training. We have the best people in the group right now supporting us. Look at our group right now. We have all the best people around right now to support us. Who do you have around you that you can get and knock on the side and say, hey, let's jump on board and help these guys out. See what mission we're talking about, because we're here to stay. We're not moving. We're here every Friday, right? All right, so come on board. Help us out. We want to say thank you very much. I mean, this has been such an honor to have this platform. I'm just shocked, and I'm in awe of where we're going and how we're helping out our communities. And just to show you how beautiful, simple people that are so beautiful, just like Tammy, can go out there on minimum money and help create such joy for so many people. I've walked out there. I've been there. I've handed out. I've been to so many events. She's been to all of them. I'm busy traveling around the country and stuff. When I come back and I jump into an event, right, I'll be out there just busting my butt. Like this Sunday, we got another kid back at Unity Through Community at 55, West Mill Road or West Southern Road.
43 West Southern.
43 West Southern Avenue, Tempe, Arizona. Unity Through
Community. Veteran nonprofit.
Right. Mm-hmm. Tell them about it. What are
Veteran,
we doing?
Unity Through Community is a veteran nonprofit place. So it's run by veterans that have a nonprofit, and they gather there and they rent the place out to anybody that wants to come and show love there. So we're helping a nonprofit also, besides them helping us, with a place to have a party for donations, where we're accepting donations for children. There's so many children with Christmas this year having a tough time. The parents are having a really tough time to get presents for them. Our phones, our websites have been off the hook day and night.
What is your phone number and what is your email that we want to contact, please?
Well, the phone number is, let me give you the 623-284-9085.
Say it one more time.
623-284-9085.
And what's your Instagram?
And Instagram is Tom's Palms. Just TOMSPALMS. You can put it in the URL. There's quite a bit out there. We have quite a link out there. Last 6 months we've blown up on the web. So we're getting so busy, I'm having a hard time keeping track of it all.
Tammy, real quick, tell them about the that we're doing the upcharge on all of like at Mint and at Hannah. Tell them about the donations we got from their local dispensaries, what they're offering us as an alternative to people coming in to help charities like ours.
So some of the dispensaries have done an up fee where they can round up their change. So if it's $4.98, you can round it up to $5, and we get that extra 2 cents. What that does for the dispensary is they are not paying out any money out of their pocket, but they're handing me a check, and I give them a letter that they get tax break from that because they handed me money, even though it wasn't out of their pocket. So not only do they do that, some of them have matched that money and given us extra money. Some just give us cash. I haven't understood that one yet. Why wouldn't they write me out a check? We have a bank account. We are a legal 501c3. They're actually handing me cash these days. So I've had that happen 3 times in the last month. which is interesting. Anyways, we'll take it, that's for sure. But we're helping so many of these kids right now with Christmas, and we take donations of new blankets and toiletries because we're in the streets every week handing out toiletries. We deal with 76 sober houses, which that program told me recently, they blew up to 900 houses, the lady told me yesterday. I didn't know there were that many houses in the state. Isn't that sad that there's that many in our community alone, that they have 900 houses underneath them?
That's disgusting.
And they're sober houses, not to mention the women and children houses that are separate from that we help. And we help the only sober nursery in Phoenix. So do you imagine? I said sober nursery. Take that in for a second.
Yeah, nursery. Oh. That's really tough to take on because it's, but you've been through that with your daughter. We've all had our issues with infant trauma, with having medication that's, or opioids in their systems and trying to get the babies off those, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. So, it's a wonderful program, though, that we assist in now. It's through CPS certified. If the mom wants to get off of drugs and stay off drugs and go through the program, they can actually stay at this nursery with the baby. They go there after the hospital, the baby does, for 5 to 10 days to wean down off of all medications, and they're able to give them meds if they need it. I've been in there because my daughter was through this program.
She's got a beautiful daughter and grandbaby too.
A beautiful grandbaby. My daughter's been living in one of those houses for a year now. And some of those women have been in there longer and some less. Some have not made it through the system all the way. It's pretty sad seeing the system out here is really made to fail. If you do not have resources or someone to be there to back you up, you pretty much fail, end up back in the streets, back on drugs, and back starting all over again through the whole system. And that system is made to do that sometimes because it keeps those funds coming in through the businesses like you were just talking about. So it's sad to see. But this wonderful program helps these women keep their children, get back into society. They help my daughter. She's got her GED. She has her driver's license. She's going back to school to be a lactation consultant. And the big umbrella company of this is hiring her to work for them. So it's a pretty neat program that they have there.
Well, it's dope. Go ahead. You want to ask a question?
How can the audience reach you? How can they reach your foundation? What are some of the things that you might need for your foundation that can help you with?
Well, again, I'm looking to have businesses that see a value in me helping them accelerate the production of their products, whatever those products may be. I have agreements with a company called Hemp Supply Prime and another company called Aon Biohealth, and they're both companies that deal with the eradication through CBD products and hemp products. I have an agreement with a company called Hope, a nonprofit organization. It's housing everywhere. They actually manufacture hemp-free, which is concrete made out of hemp, and it's probably the most durable thing on the planet. So any of those number of things are the way that I try to get the Freeway Boys money to be able to give back to the community. What I was going to say to you guys, first of all, send me your cash app. The Freeway Boys Foundation is going to donate to your organization. And,
wow.
We're going to donate $100 to the iHipHop program. And you already know that the Freeway Boys Foundation is going to sign up for the $1,000 program with the Amazon program. And I'm going to sign up personally as an individual for the $250 program. So, I don't never tell a person to do something that I have have done or will do. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, we respect you. We appreciate you very much for your
Yes.
donation to all the causes.
Yes. That's huge.
Thank you.
That's huge.
I get
Thank you.
Wow.
to be able to send Tammy $100 and send you $100 for his TV program, because it's informational systems like this that you guys are doing right now that allows for people to tune in and, you know, get the kind of input that they need to be informed and to know better what resources are available to them if they need assistance. You know, a lot of people have programs that people don't even know are available.
Exist. Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't even know they exist. So as many platforms as we can, and there are some more young men and women out there who would like to have their own show, like the show that you're doing now. There are many other women out there, Tammy, who would want to emulate you and have an organization like yours in another state, and you become a resource to them to be able to expand the provision of services to, you know, people that need them. And nephew, you already know how I feel about you. It go without saying, Freeway for life. So I ain't gonna. But yeah, make sure you guys get me all that information.
Yes, yes. And make sure, make sure you get over, and same with you, Tammy, to get your information over, all the information over. Tammy keeps going in and out, and to get all your information over so I can hook up media teasers and stuff for the whole thing that directs people, stuff that you can use on your social media. iHipHopTV is also a media company.
I need a social media manager. I'm looking for somebody to do all of that, Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok and all that, because I have pages for all of that stuff, but you know, I don't really have the time to try and manage it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Other positions.
Yes. You know, you've been on a pathway for trying to be. You've been on a sober path. You've been on a healing path. You've been on a journey. It seems like we all have been going through such a journey with our past. How like I feel like the military and the pain that I've gone through the child abuse, through my brother's death, and all the different passings we've had. We just lost my copper. One guy just passed away 4 days ago and going to his funeral on Monday. Wow. You know, here we are healing people with a product that he introduced me to. That's painful, but at the same time, the pain is there. I see such hope, such love, such joy. Like, just because somebody passes doesn't mean we don't have a future to go heal more people. How do you feel about that this last little journey you're on right now to make this fight for you? Being at 63, you got, let's say you got 20 years right now, 30 years left right now to go kick some ass. You know, this is the fight of your life to go heal, to get rid of it. When do you think you'd be okay with being all right with your past? Which I think you're all right with. I know it's painful, but it's also a great lesson, right? For the journey today.
I look at it like this. I think that as long as you're spending time trying to elevate the life experience of other human beings, you don't really have to there's no way to like gauge a time when you feel like you've done enough. There is no such thing as enough. You know, like I was listening to Michael Jordan talk about, I watched him eulogize Kobe Bryant, and he said one of the things that he admired the most about Kobe Bryant and people that, you know, give it their all is that you're responsible for leaving it all on the court. You know, I haven't met a person personally who's left this realm of existence and entered into that other realm of existence by way of dying, you know, expiring, however you want to call it, and they took no money with them. So at the end of the day, everything has a purpose, and money's purpose is not for you. Well, my personal opinion, how somebody feels about it, they can say, yeah, well, just because you had a lot of money and you experienced all those things. Well, sure I did, but at the same time, it was a lesson for me to understand that the reason I was blessed and fortunate enough to have had access to all of those resources wasn't for me. It was for me to use those resources to enhance the life experience of other human beings. So that's all I do. I mean, every day I wake up, I try to wake up with an attitude of selflessness and an attitude of gratitude. First
Amen.
out of my mouth, thank you, Jesus, for them 2 miracles again. You give me another opportunity to have a chance to make choices. And I try to make sure that all those choices are along the realm of how is it that I'm going to try and help somebody who's homeless not be homeless tonight? How am I going to try? What am I going to do to feed somebody today other than myself? What am I going to do? I almost went home butt naked sometime from just giving people the clothes right off my back, because I understand that my skill set is such that I can get clothes. My skill set is such that I'm not going to never be homeless. My skill set is such that I'm not going to ever be hungry. So it is my responsibility to share that information and help people get themselves to a place where they have high self-esteem, where they feel good about themselves without having the need or desire to have someone else tell them that they're amazing, that they're a miracle. Mm-hmm. They understand it. And see, once a person understands that, you can't stop them there's nothing you can stop them from accomplishing if they set their mind and their heart and their spirit to accomplishing that goal that they set for themselves. So that's all that's about.
What I want to do right now, everyone, is I want to reach out to the audience. I want to reach out to the listeners. I want your guys to understand that beg, borrow, steal, in the next 36 months, we are going to eradicate the entire homeless epidemic nationwide, veterans first. But what I want to do is plead with you. You know, we have all eBay accounts. We have millions and millions of dollars worth of product online that you can buy. So I tell you, do this. Instead of going to Walmart, instead of going to Best Buy, instead of going to Target and getting Christmas presents, you know what? Look for us on eBay. Contact us and figure out what our eBay account is and buy the products from us to support what we're doing. You know, why would you want to support Amazon? Why would you want to support Walmart? They already got billions of dollars and they're not using it the way we're using it. We have a ton of product. We have great prices.
We have $800 billion.
We have access to $800 billion worth of product. If we can move that kind of product online with your help, that's more than enough money to take care of the mission that all of us have been destined for. We're being groomed from day one to do what we're doing right now and to be where we are right now. We were being groomed by the universal power of this earth. We're exactly where we are supposed to be.
Jumping out of the norm is what we're doing.
Right.
We're pulling away from the standard that everyone's so used to. The same TV, same haircut, same way to work every single day. You know what? You don't even say hi to anybody when you go into a store anymore. How about you reach over and just reach in your pocket, grab an extra $1 and buy them a coffee and say hi. I do it all the time. It makes me feel so good that my kids are 21 and 22 and they say it to everybody now because I did it. Because I want people to smile when I walk in that door. I can see they're pissed off because they don't like life right now. But it doesn't mean that we have to walk in and satisfy that they're unhappy. So let's go in there and try to make a change.
Yeah,
and by doing that change right now, one, you got to look up and know that he's first. Number two, we got a mission to go on right now and support our mission right now. By going on eBay and finding our accounts right now and jumping on board or getting your entrepreneur, independent, own company right now, where you pay $250, you get a package, you get training for eBay. We set you up on a course. We set you up with merchandise. You pay $500, we do a little bit more and more training, $1,000 or $5,000. That's it. And all we're trying to do right now is show you guys how we can make you go to the next level by spending the money you would have spent somewhere else. That's all we're going to do for you. It's really simple. I did it in 15 minutes when he came out here and did it for me. It was amazing to see how simple it was. Now I got somebody helping me put all my products in, log it in, and wait for our money to come in, donate it back into the nonprofit and helping the homeless. That's what I'm doing with my money. What are you going to do with yours? Okay. So let's say a salute to Tammy for coming on with Tom's Palms.
Tom's Palms. Thank you, Tammy. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Tammy, thank you very, very much. I think that we're going to end this off by saying that Unc, we really appreciate you, sir. Semper Fi for what you've done and what you guys do for the community, which I see every day that I can't do. We're working on, but we're in the inner works of making a devastating change in what we need today. And you guys are impactful to make that happen. Yeah. And if it wasn't for you guys with your past and what you have presently going on, there would be no fight because no one else is doing what you're doing. So we want to applaud you both, Tammy and Unc, for what you guys are doing for our communities. We love you guys so much. And thank you very much.
Yeah. And one other thing, just to let everyone know how this is going to play out. We're taking the money that we're getting from the returns from Amazon. We're going to build container home factories. A factory like Tesla. Tesla builds cars. We're going to build homes. $500,000 a year for the next 3 years. We're going to have more homes for the homeless than there are homeless people.
1.5 million.
We're going to make sure that
that's our plan, guys.
Yes.
This is it. Let's give it off to Peace Doc to round us out.
Yes.
And we want to say thank you to iHipHopTV for what you've offered to us.
Thank you so much.
Peace Doc, thank you. You're a wonderful man with a great soul. By the way, your creams are all coming tomorrow. We're going to the lab and send them off to Unc and you and to Bobby Owens. Thank you. The Sultan, thank you for having us on here. The Jackson Foundation, we love you. Thank you for bringing us aboard here. And you guys, thank you for coming off. Go ahead and close it out for us, Peace Doc.
All right. That's how we do. That's how we do. Hey, another great episode. iHipHopTV, this is the way we do it. We do have the Jackson Family Foundation, LVH, Dubai Magazine on, Simon Shorey. That no doubt. Aladdin 19 is in the house. Bobby Owens is in the house. Jerry Bell is in the house. Woo! It's going down. Everything's happening. We're making it happen. Everybody's chipping in, doing their part to eradicate homelessness, starting with the veterans first. And that's how we do it. Big shout out to Unc, Mr. Norman Tillman, and we have Tammy of Tom's Palms in the house. Support, show your love. They're out there doing the work. And you heard Dr. E and Jarrett say it before. It takes people to help people. We can't depend on the government, which is just another business. You heard it. Another corporation. It takes people helping people to get the job done. And that's what we're going to do. Eradicate homelessness in 36 months. Veterans first. Peace.
People get writer's block. We're not telling the truth. We don't get writer's block. Schoolie D?
Schoolie D.
Yeah, Schoolie D.
Still
A
gangster.
lot of people don't know Ice-T from North.
Shout out to my niggas Aladdin 19, Freestyle Friday, stand up.
Out on hiphoptv.com on YouTube. Shit is fire. Check out iHipHopTV.com on YouTube.